So these were my 5 beliefs. And now I want to introduce you to a special award, Andrew, who is our
Hey guys, my name is Andrew and I'm doing product UI design at Wix. I'm working here almost 5 years, which is pretty a lot. And I've designed the main, like our product website builder. I also create the guidelines for the marketing and site pages. So, but before that, let me tell you a few words about me. So basically, I grew up in this place in Ukraine, and some people ask me when this photo was made, and basically this is like this is the way how it looks now. And now I'm living in Israel, in Tel Aviv. So a couple of years I moved to Israel, and I got great opportunity to join such a big team of designers and to work with them really closely. We also have a really big team of developers, so I would love really to share with you my experience from that. But before that, let me ask, who is doing product UI design in this room? Can you raise your hand, please? A lot, nice. So I'm really happy that here's a lot of people who is probably meet the same problems as I at the beginning of the process. And more about problems I will describe later, so stay with me and you will see. This is our latest project, what I worked on, and this new product is supposed to be launched in 2 weeks, so stay with us and check our updates. So basically for most of the people, I mean, this design looks pretty simple and nothing really complex about this. I mean, some buttons, shapes, color background, but I can promise you that there is something more complex behind and more interesting. And this is what I'm going to talk about now. So, smart process, what does it mean? A lot of designers, especially UI designers, when they get some mockups and they want to design something, they because of this strict deadlines, they run and jump to the design and start just to do things. And I want to share you the way how we started to work. So before you jump and start to design and to play with the colors, think about how your design will work with the other people, how you will share all colors, all fonts, everything what you have. And especially when you're working with a big team, think how to make the process more smart. So imagine that your product, it's your universe, and you're a creator there. So everything what you can do, you can create all really cool rules which work for you and which will guide your product to the next level. And imagine that in our Earth we have gravity, and when I drop some things, it will fall down. And all of you guys know that the day have 24 hours, and we can easily count on those 24 hours, right? So we can plan our days according to those 24 hours. And the same things how you need to think according to your product. You need to think how to create the rules which will guide you, which will help you in the future to make the product better, to work it better, and to, of course, if you're working with a big team, how you will communicate with them. So one of the examples, for example, the color palette. I think most of you guys pick the colors for your products, and which is really cool, but I will show you the things how we started to work. For example, this is our color palette. It looks pretty simple, I mean, shades and explanation some, but before that we had some problems because that we are a really big team of designers. It was really complicated for us all the time to send primary colors. Everyone asked about hex color, and I think you probably met the same problem. So there really is a solution for that, which change everything. It's just adding the name for the colors. And for you it looks maybe so obvious and simple, But imagine that before we didn't work with that, and it was absolutely different experience, because now we know that like we give specification for the colors, and each colors work like for himself. Let's say that our primary buttons, we can say that it's V1, and the hover for the colors is B2, which is make process much better. And it solves problem with the sending hex color to each other. And also, we not sending hex color for the developers, and they know better the way how it should work. Another example is typography. As you know that the typography takes the biggest part, especially today in the design. And think just about how you can work, how your typography will scale in the future. Think about styles, think about how many different font styles you're supposed to use. And the easiest way to do that, just create the fonts map with the scale examples. You can use any like algorithm for that, but just to have all your font sizes next to each other and to see the contrast between them, it will help you to solve problems in the future, because you will not raise the question which font size I need to use for the title or which font size I'm going to use for the body text, because you already defined it before. Another example is shadows. Not a lot of people cares about shadows, especially developers. I mean, for them, all shadows look the same. And we had this really funny situation when developers have done our latest project editor. I think it was 1 year ago, and it was all panels has different shadow, but for developers it looks the same, which is funny. And so the easy solution which I found to do is just create the shadow map. I mean, create the different size of the shadow, create the right structure, create the logical for your shadows. And so next time when you would like to emphasize some objects, you're going to use the big shadow, like here SH6, or if it's less important, less dominant object, you will pick another. And you will avoid situation when designers exploding and creating new shadows for your product, if you're using the shadow. And the last example is command controls. What is command control? Woo! It's a group of elements which you can use many times. And this can really save your time and keep the quality better. So basically this is just the examples how command controls works. So think about how you can create the elements which will work many times for you. Think about how to make the process more smart. And for example, just making command controls, from our experience, save us a lot of time, because we redesign the website builder for 3 months, and we have hundreds of panels, and that was amazing, really. So, I mean, even if it looks really simple and obvious, just think about when you're going to start to design something like that. So what do we achieve at the end? Of course, quality. Because when you have all your rules together, and when everything is mapped, you can control quality, because you are designing these things, and it will really help you to see and to plan your design in the future. Also, time saver, because you prepared everything before, you will not spend time to think what color I'm going to use for this button, what font size I need to pick. I mean, you will spend time for more real problems, for more challenging stuff, instead of create this question again and again. Scalable design. You know, because we invent this color map, which you saw before, which is I mean, for you it maybe seems pretty simple, but now to change all colors in our main products, it will take us a few minutes, because all elements mapped to the color map. So basically we change it in one place, and then it will change all over the product design. Of course, communication with the designers. It's impossible to work without any kind of rules. And any kind of system better than to work just with a mess, especially when you're working with the designers. And when you got all those information, it will help you to deliver already defined stuff for the developers. Because as you know, developers really love to work with the definitions, with the specifications. So basically you also have this work for them done. So all those things will give you freedom, because you will think about more important things how to solve, instead of like to put in your mind things which is less relevant and less important. And more about freedom, welcome my colleague Shelley.
Yeah.